Most men live lives of quiet desperation, because it's true. And I've been that guy.
Bruh.
You know, the average life for the average man is purely average. You know, it's very sad to see. But people act like it's never been like this. It's always been like this. You know, you had the head honcho, the head honcho motherfuckers at the top, you know what I'm saying? And then the rest of the dudes, you know, they just get the average life. They get the average females, you know, if they even get any females, cuz. You know what I'm saying, G? Most dudes, you know what I'm saying, are quite invisible, you know, to females. Most dudes they just hate their lives, you know, quiet desperation. We've all heard it before, you know, Fight Club, Joe Rogan, you know what I'm saying? Not me, though. Not me, G. Okay? Some would say, I am the cream of the crop. Some would say, I am the brightest cookie in the jar, you know what I'm saying? Some would say, I am the 4-leaf clover surrounded by the 3-leaf clovers. You know, ask around where I'm from, buddy. Everyone knows my name. Everyone knows the Loch Ness. You know what I'm saying? And you should listen to what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but, yeah, this is why I don't listen to the average man, bro. Look at these 7 images. Okay?
Bruh.
We got the doom scrolling in the bedroom, bruv. That is straight tapu, G. In the bed, bro. People wake up. Your average dude wakes up straight on the phone, bro. Straight on the phone. Doesn't even brush his teeth. Doesn't even get up and do no stretches or nothing. You know, wakes up and just straight doom scrolls, G. That is just, you're cooked, bro. You're cooked. You're a broken person. You're just like my fucking nunchucks, bruv. Broken. Okay? But that doesn't mean you can't change it around, switch it around, and make it work. You know what I'm saying? Make it, you know, do something. Make it work. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, people do that, G. Wake up, first thing, grab the phone, and they're not even looking up anything. They're not even checking the weather. They're just on TikTok and they're just thumb up, thumb up, thumb up, thumb up. Not the way, G. You know, they wake up next to this, to their missus, bro. They probably, you know, their girlfriend, or their wife, they probably haven't, you know, had any sort of intimate connections or, you know, I don't really want to say the word, but you know what I'm talking about, mate. They probably haven't done any dookie fun stuff for like a couple months, G. Now, how sad is that, bruv? You know, they get told what to do. You know, that they're cooking up some eggs and his girl's like, oh, nah, why are you cooking up eggs for? You're meant to be having cereal. You know, this is the average life, bro. You know, they go to their office job, you know, their tradie job. You know, tradies are a bit cooler than office guys, you know what I mean? At least they're still, like, exercising a bit in their job, but, you know, that don't mean to say there ain't tradies that don't hate their lives, you know what I'm saying? You know, or they're in the office, you know, like the Fight Club guy, just freaking insomnia, like, you know, just waiting for the paper to print, and there's just no thoughts in your head except, oh, I hate this, what is this, you know? And people just accept it, G. Not me, though. Not me, brother. That's what I'm getting. Hey, I'm the special one, you know what I'm saying, G? You know, they go to work, and then, I don't know, maybe they try go to the gym, they probably hop on the treadmill. Nah, probably not. Most people just, you know, they finish work and they go straight to the pub, G. You know, and that's why they got such an average body that their girlfriend doesn't like, you know what I mean? They got more estrogen around their hips than their own girlfriend, bruv. You know what I'm saying? This is the average life, G. Not me, though. Not me, bro. You know? Like I said, buddy, ask around town. Ask around town. But, you know, society, they don't care. No one says anything. You know what I mean? they'll tell a man that's living this life that I've just described that they're doing well, you know, because they've done all the things that they've been told they should do. They've got the missus that tells them what to do. They've got the job where they get told what to do. They go to the pub and talk about the rugby players, bro, that they could never be, but they wish they were. You know what I mean? They go to the pub, you know? They have some kids that they don't even like. They've just had them because they've been told they should have them. You know, how ratchet is that for the kids, bro? You ever think about that? You know, that's another thing. People are real like, oh, we're having a baby. I'm having a baby. They're not thinking, oh, shit, there's a baby on the way. Hey, you know? And no one says anything, bruv. You know? And this is what I mean, bro. If you do what society tells you to do as a dude, you're gonna live a pretty trash life, bro. I'm not gonna lie, G. You know, and you know, it's not really the guy's fault that they're like this, because they've been told to do all this. You know, society will tell you to do said thing, and they won't respect you for doing said thing. You gotta do this straight opposite, bro. You know? But at school, it was ingrained into us to, you know, we have to wait to be told what to do, you know? You don't just go to the toilet. You have to ask to go to the toilet. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that might seem small, but it really ingrained us from a young age to always ask for permission before we do things, you know? And I'm still affected to this by that till this day. You know, even me, as swag as I am, as James Bond-like as I am, you know? And it's just sad to see, my bro. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and, you know, so when I see the average person, you know, I work at a gas station, they'll come in and they're like, oh, yeah, mate, why don't you do this and this and this? And it's like, bro, you can't even see your diddle when you take a leak, bro. Okay? You don't even have respect by your own wife, bro. Your own wife and kids don't respect you. You know what I mean? Sure, you might have your own house, or, you know, you might have a good paying job. But you're slumped, bro. You get told what to do on the daily, you know? You don't pick yourself up by your nutsacks. You don't run life how you want to live it. You know what I mean? Why would I listen to you, bro? You know, you can't even do a nice switch kick, G. Why would I listen to you, bro? Hey, think about it, G. If you're a very ambitious dude and you've got, you know, these goals to be successful and to run and live your life how you want to live it, why would you listen to some guy that gets told what to do by his girlfriend? What, because he's got a job? Bro, everyone's got a job, G. Okay? Oh my god. I'm not saying jobs are bad, okay? You know, jobs are good. I'm just saying, you can't be like trapped in the Matrix, bro. It's what the Matrix is, G. Oh my god. It's just a rant and a rant and a rant. But you know, not me though. Not me. I ain't gonna live that life, G. You already know it, brother. You already know it. But yeah, shout out to all my fellas, you know, in the gym. You know, going to mahi and work and stuff. But you ain't getting told what to do by people. I mean, sure, you gotta get told what to do sometimes, but there's a difference, you know. There's a difference between in your head just thinking, oh yeah, whatever, you freaking fat little bastard. And then thinking, oh yeah, okay, I'll do whatever you say, you know. But yeah, and then so that's the point of this video, bro. Just stop. Don't listen to the average man, bro, because the average man will make you an average man, bro, if you listen to what they say, you know. There's even fellas with money, bro. There's fellas that are quite successful, but I still wouldn't listen to what they say when it comes to life in general. Maybe when it comes to financial stuff. But, you know, they might be successful, but their frickin' girlfriend goes and roots other people. Goes and has intercourse with other men. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would I listen to you, G? You don't even like yourself. You know? Yeah. Suppose they might do it for this one, eh? Just a bit of a rant and all that. But yeah. NZ Loch Ness, G.